to talk about sales and why we all suck at sales. You're on this call because you're saying, I suck at sales. Why do I suck at sales? Why do you think you suck at sales? That's my first question to you. Go ahead and unmute. This is very interactive. I'm like, this is not just me preaching at you. So what is the biggest part of the sales process that you struggle with the most?
I don't think people are interested.
Okay, good one. Kelly, you're unmuted. What would
I don't necessarily think I suck at sales so much as I suck at finding my ideal client.
Okay, so you're not selling to the right people.
Correct.
Okay, that's valid. Rosemary, do you have anything?
Yeah, I'm like Kelly. I know I don't suck at sales, but I want to be a better teacher and trainer.
Okay.
So that I can get my little tips and techniques, easier to understand for other people.
Okay. All right. How about you, Linda?
I suck at sales.
Resistance to something new, especially one of the roadblocks that comes up.
I think she's got multiple and audio going in the background. We'll wait for you, Linda. She's like, where is it coming from? I hate that. Shirley, do you have anything you want to share?
Sorry to join the party late.
You're
and
okay.
I will be completely honest, Elaine, I'm going to definitely watch this on the replay, but I didn't want to miss it. What was the question, sweetie?
Why do you think you suck at sales, or what part of the sales process do you struggle with the most?
I don't necessarily, sales has been my life since I was hustling and selling flowers at a road stand since I was 16. I think now moving forward, I think it's a slight confidence level in closing the deal for my package that I've, finally learned how to value what I'm worth.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm, I kind of pull away, or the tone in my voice changes when I say, your all about you session is $549, which I know is still a really good price. But I feel that sometimes people shy away from that. So I think it's the confidence in closing that deal. Okay. Does that make sense?
Absolutely. Absolutely. You are not the only one that has had that happen, where all of a sudden now you have to say the price and you cower a little bit inside, and you might even, like we get into the, I don't know if this has ever happened to you, but it's happened to me, where I don't shut up. And I'm just talking and talking and talking because I'm uncomfortable and because I'm afraid that they're going to say no. So I'm just going to keep talking so that they never even have an opportunity to say no.
Right. So exactly.
Right.
So I'm gonna definitely catch all this in the replay. I'm gonna hop, and I'll probably jump back on in a few minutes, but I wanted to not miss this. Okay.
Yeah. No worries. Okay. So how many of you are afraid of putting yourself out there? Any concerns with visibility, confidence? Like, you've done all the work to put together a beautiful program or a course or an offer, a product, whatever it is. You've done all the work, and now you have to tell people about it. What if they don't appreciate your offer? What if they don't want it? What if they don't like it? What if it's not for them? And you feel, oh my gosh, somebody just stabbed me in the heart. They don't like what I have to offer. Anyone else feel that way ever? You can relate. I see some heads nodding. Okay. How many of you are afraid of sounding salesy? What is salesy? Like, let's dive into that a little bit. So I hear all the time, I don't want to sound like a used car salesman. So what does a used car salesman sound like? Go ahead, unmute. What do you think of, Rosemary?
A used car salesman is somebody that doesn't even care what you're looking for. He's telling you what you want to buy.
Right. Trina.
I was gonna say the same thing. They're just telling you all about the features, but they don't know what's important to you.
Okay. What I really hear is pushy, right? When I think of used car salesman, I think of pushy. How about you, Kelly?
Yeah, pushy and the feeling of self-serving comes across as well, right?
Yeah. And you know what's funny, Paula? Thank you. My daughter is the manager of the used car sales department. She just moved from Toyota to Jeep. And her whole thing has been not only being female, but young and cute in a male dominated industry. How on earth can she? And so she says, I told her, I was like, you have to be different. If you're worried about sounding salesy, first of all, you are trying to sell something. So how can you not sound salesy? And we're going to talk about how to not sound salesy. Okay. But yeah, it was like she was like, oh my God, like people automatically distrust me. So do you think that your clients potential, like you're trying to fight through distrust? I was talking with one of my clients yesterday who's really struggling with people are afraid to tell them their budget. She's like, nobody will tell me how much they're willing to spend on having custom drapery. And I said, what if it's because they believe that you are going to, if they tell you their budget's $5,000, then you're going to do it for $5,000 when you could have actually done it for $2,500. There may be that belief that you're going to cap it at my maximum budget instead of really doing what's in my best interest. So, do you have to work through any distrust with your industry? Okay, I'm seeing some heads nodding. Okay, so the other thing I want to talk about is money. What you are doing is you're saying, I would like to trade you this service or this product for money. Okay, how much money is depending on, you have put a price tag on your offer based on what you think it's worth. What if you think I'm not worth that much? Oh, that's a confidence, right? What my big question for you is, Trina, what do you think about people that have millions of dollars?
What do I think about them? Well, I know that our rich friends, they throw around 200s like they're $20.
Okay.
Yeah.
So there may be a little just here, just give it all away. Not
But I also know the people who do have money are very careful with their money.
Okay. All right. Kelly, what about you? What do you think about people that have millions of dollars?
I think they're careful with their money, but they don't mind spending it on things that they want. And also they're very big on service. So they'll pay extra if you're going to cater to them.
Okay. Rosemary, what do you think? People who have millions of dollars, what do you think about them?
Oh, lots of different things. I think I used to, the old grass is greener on the other side. And then I started realizing that a lot of people with money, just a lot of people I know that have money aren't happy. They're rich, but they're not abundant. They never can get enough. I know people that can just never get enough.
Right. Okay. Linda, how about you?
People with money have, because I've made little money in my life starting out. I've made lots of money. I'm back to making little money. And I can tell you, the more money you make, the more money you spend. And it has a greater responsibility to keep all that. You know, I think that's what I know about people with money, is they have lots of responsibility to stay at that level.
Got to keep it up.
You got to keep it up.
Yeah.
Because of the fact, you know, when you live in a 2-bedroom home and you go to a 5-bedroom home, there's a different, the insurance is more, the utilities are more. all that is more.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, I
So,
think
yeah, that's a really good point. So here's some other things to think about. My daughter, her and I were talking about money, and she had this idea in her head that if she obtained a lot of money, she makes way too, I'm like, you make way too much money for 24 years old. That's all I got to say about that. Right. But she's worked really hard and works 12-hour days to be
Right.
able to afford her where she's been at. But she had this belief that if I have a lot of money, I'm going to become an asshole. And I said, but are you an asshole now? She's like, no. And I was like, okay, so really what money does is it enhances who you already are. If you are a kind and generous person, which I know you to be, having a lot of money is just going to enhance that. You're going to be more kind and more generous and being able to give back and helping people in need, which that's already who she is. And I said, so if you're an asshole to begin with, then yes, money is going to make you a bigger asshole, right? The other thing is that as a kid, I had this belief that people that had a lot of money were stuck up and snobby. So why would I ever want to have a lot of money if that's what I believe about people who are rich? Why would I ever want that? So I deterred money from me because I was worried that that people would think that I was rich and snobby, that I was stuck up, that I didn't deserve to have what I earned, that I was like a trust fund kid. How many of you guys ever thought like the Kardashians, like what have they done? Or Paris Hilton and her, right? If you are my age, you know about the Paris Hilton thing more than the Kardashians, right? Like, what has she done? She's a trust fund baby. What has she done to earn all of that? I struggled with that big time. Anyone else relate to that? So why would I want to get money if I'm worried people are going to think that I'm like that? I had to do some serious work, you guys. So the other thing is, do you believe in the results or the transformation that you give to people? That what you are selling is actually helping people, it's making an impact, it's making a difference in their lives. If we are not confident in what our offer really is and how we're going to help people, we will forever we'll be stuck in this cycle of never selling it because we don't believe in it. We're not confident in what it does. A friend of mine, she's been on this little roller coaster lately. She's always calling me, Elaine. She did not have clarity. She was like, I'm doing all these consultations with people and nobody is buying what I'm trying to sell. And I was like, but you're trying to sell something that you told me that you didn't actually want to do. You're trying to sell one-on-one and you told me I don't want to do one-on-one anymore. Why are you still trying to sell that? It doesn't make sense. Oh, you're right. I did say that. So you're deflecting everybody because that's not what you really want. So what do you really want? How do you really want to help people? And let's create something that you are actually feeling good about. Stop trying to sell people one-on-one when you told me you don't want to do one-on-ones. It doesn't make sense. So like it's all about, you know exactly what it is that you're doing. You believe in it. You have faith in it. You know exactly who you're helping and how you're helping them. Right? That's truly what sales really is. The other thing that I want to point out is that selling is about agreement, not confrontation. Selling is about agreement, not confrontation. If someone came at you trying to force you to buy something, you're gonna no, wall, like not interested. which is why, how many of you dislike receiving the dirty DM? Y'all know what I'm talking about. The dirty DM. I don't know you, and here I am trying to sell you my stuff. The direct sales industry has really done a disservice and caused a huge amount of distrust in the industry, who may have had wonderful products and wonderful services, but the way that they teach people to go about it has really done them a huge disservice. Telling people, just go message all of your friends with this long, drawn out thing, trying to sell me something, and I don't know you at all. Who are you? Do I want to make a little extra money, or do I want to lose weight quickly, or bleh? No, I don't know you. So sales happen when people feel heard. When people feel like you understand what their needs are, you truly understand what their needs are, that's when the sale happens. The sale also happens when urgency exceeds the perceived risk of purchase. So what that means, urgency exceeds the perceived risk. Okay, here we go. We're getting our carpet replaced. I don't know if y'all have ever had your carpet replaced, but you have to move everything out of your damn house. So I have this kind of limited window, and I'm like, crap, I need help. I can't do this on my own. Do I want to do this on my own? No, I'm going to find somebody to help us. Come in and, like an organizer, come in and help us pack things up and get rid of the things that we really don't want to bring back into the house, whatever. Do you think I'm going to care as much about how much it's going to cost? Because I have an urgent need, right? I have a short window of time. So if someone told me it was going to cost thousands of dollars, I'd be like, well, obviously I have to do it because I need to get, the problem is there, and who else is going to help me? I don't want to go through the hassle of finding someone else and doing the whole thing, right? So the urgency is there. She could have told me it cost $10,000 and I probably would have paid it because the urgency was there. Okay. So when their problem is so urgent that they can't live another day the way that they're moving, the way that they're going, what is the problem that you are trying to help people solve? What happens if they don't change that? If they continue going the way that they've been going, what's going to happen? How much more miserable are they going to become? How unhappy are they going to become? They have to be able to say, I don't want to live like this anymore. I want something to change. Something has to change. They have to decide that they're ready. So they're going to continue. Here's what happens. I'm just going to tell you guys this. We tell the universe what we want. We write down our goals. We share, we have accountability partners, talk it out buddies. We tell people what it is that we want. Guess what happens? The universe sends us opportunities to make it happen. Then guess what we do? We say, no, I'm not ready. What is that about? Why do we do that? So every time you get on a call with somebody, or a Zoom or a phone call or whatever, and someone's like, I'm interested in, tell me more about what you do. They manifested you into their life. And guess what they're doing? I'm not ready yet. Here's what they really don't want. It's the fear of change. Because they're in their comfort zone. Even though they're miserable, they've gotten comfortable in their misery. So to change that means that I have to do the work. So do I want to do the work that goes along with change? You're selling change. You're trying to tell people that working with me, I'm going to help you change your life. Are they ready for that? They think they want it, but they're saying yes, but then their pocketbook and their mindset and all that stuff is telling them no. Their inner critic telling them no. People have to make decisions based on where they want to be and not where they currently are. So you have to help them see that this is where I'm trying to get you to. So you have to make a decision based on here, over here, not where you currently are. Because if you make decisions based on where you currently are, you're going to stay there. Now, this is true for you as well. So as you are helping them figure out how to make decisions based on where they want to be, you have to practice that first. You have to be able to walk the walk and talk the talk and say, I've been where you are. I know how this feels. I know this discomfort that you are experiencing because I experienced it too. So what are you going to do to push you out of your comfort zone? What are you going to do to invest in yourself, hire a coach or a consultant or a strategist or whatever to help you get out of your own way so then you can turn around and help other people do the same? In order for them to say yes to you, you also have to say yes to you. You have to get out of your comfort zone and do something that scares the crap out of you in order for other people to trust that you know what you're talking about because you've done it, you've experienced it, and now you can say, been there, done that, got the t-shirt, here, come with me, I'll show you how. That's what sales is, you guys. Right? How are you guys feeling about that right now? I know I just dropped a lot on you, like, ha, and there's more. There's more coming. Anyone want to share any thoughts that are coming out for you? No? All right. Okay. So have you ever been on a sales call with someone and you were trying to convince them? They were saying no, they were throwing up objections. What are some of the main objections that you guys hear during that sales conversation where you're trying to help someone decide if they want to purchase your offer? I don't have
The old,
time.
the old, I want to think about it. That's the,
Okay, they want to think about it. And it's typically because, why do they want to think about it, Rosemary?
because they don't see the value yet. You haven't done your job in showing them that they really urgently need what you have.
Okay. So it's I can't afford it, or that's too much money, or I don't really understand. Right? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. How about time? I don't have time. My plate is already full. How am I going to add any more to my plate? Doing your program or your course or whatever is going to add more stuff to my plate. They have to actually make time to change. It's a big one, right? So objections really are, I don't understand. They're really saying, I need more information. So if they say, I don't have the money, I don't have the time, I need to think about it, what they're really saying is they have not convinced themselves yet. So we're going to go through some questions that I'm going to help you figure out how to help them convince themselves. Your job is to not convince people. Your job is to help them convince themselves that you are the solution to their problem. Okay. Now, the other thing that I want to mention is that when we are undervaluing our offer, if you're charging $500 for a 1-year program, they're not going to see the value in that. I once had someone say, but I charge $7 a month for my membership. And I'm like, I'm not joining your membership for $7 a month. I don't care that it's only $7 a month. I don't see value in $7. I don't see the value when something is $7. It feels cheap to me. And I don't want to waste my time on something that's cheap. I'm trying to level up. I'm trying to like grow and scale. $7 is not going to get me there. So you have to be able to believe in the transformation that you offer and price it accordingly, and price it in a dollar amount that scares the crap out of you. That's in alignment with your goals. That's in alignment with your income goals, your being able to retire. Is it easier to sell? Here's a good question for you. Is it easier to sell $20,000 $100 products or one $20,000 product? What's easier?
They say the $120,000 package is, but I still have a hard time believing that, just saying.
Trying to find 20,000 people to spend $100 is much harder. I'm just saying, it's so much more work. It's so much more work. And you have to understand, you are not your client. Okay. Let me tell you guys this. When I was a boudoir photographer and I was changing my prices because I had new expenses, I moved to a studio and I was improving my skills. I had completely revamped my client experience. And I went down and I told my husband that I changed my prices and this is how much, look at my new stuff that I made, yada, yada, yada. And he was like, oh my God, nobody's going to pay that. And I said, bitch, you are not my client. Because his mindset is always, we can't afford that. Always, 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 always. Based on his growing up, his mindset has always been, we can't afford that. I'm like, first of all, you don't know what we can afford because you don't even have you won't even look at our bank account. If I die, you're screwed. Okay. So then I would come home and I would say, honey, guess what? I sold a $3,000 package today. And he'd be like, what? Can I quit my job yet? So first of all, you were saying nobody was going to pay that price. And now you're ready to quit your job because I sold one $3,000 photography package? No, sir. The rule in our house is he's not allowed to ask me if he can quit his job until he replaces his income. That's the rule. I replaced my income to be able to be an entrepreneur. You have to do the same. Telling me that. And I know his heart was in the right place, but that was an ego, like stab you right in the heart. Nobody's going to pay that. He was not my client. He was not my client. Okay. So when we're on a sales call, the other thing that I really need you to know is you have to position yourself not as their bestie, not as their best friend, even though sometimes that can happen. Sometimes you're on a call and you really just like jive with someone, right? You're just like, oh my gosh, we get along so well. Why are they going to think that you can help them if you're just like them? You have to be able to demonstrate and show them that you've like made it to the top. And now you can show them how they can do it too. While you are in a sales call, what if you were to focus on the service, not the money? If you were to focus on truly helping someone and saying, I know that this can help you, let them then go, how much is that going to cost me? Let them ask you, how much is that going to cost? I'm in, like, I want that. You've made them feel like there's possibility, like there's hope, that you are the right choice for them. If they don't ask you how much does it cost to work with you, you don't have to offer it. I was doing a call with someone who was like, she needed help. And I was like, let's get on a call. My job was to not sell her anything. My job was literally, I just want to help you and I will let you borrow my brain and figure it out. Right? Y'all know about my brain and all this stuff, right? She was the one that said, oh my God, what would it look like to work with you? Like, how much would that cost? What are your programs? What are you offering? And then I was like, oh, I wasn't expecting that because that was not my intention. My intention was to just truly help her. She was the one that said, okay, so what would it look like for us to work together? I just got so much value from you in 45 minutes. Holy crap, I can't even imagine what it would be like to work with you for longer. That was the best type of sales call I could have ever been on, because I was not going in with the intention of selling her. I was going in with the intention of providing service and giving her whatever it was that she needed. She could go off and do it on her own, absolutely. But she's like, I don't want to. I don't want to do it on my own. I need the help. Perfect. I'm happy to tell you what my stuff is, right? And then you can decide if that works for you. And if it's not, it's okay. But I still didn't discount the fact that I was genuinely there to help her, right? I was genuinely there to help her. Okay, so we're going to talk about some of the common reasons. Yes, Trina, I see your hand.
Yeah, just before we leave that topic, I kind of struggle with feeling I need to put my price on my website so that I don't lose people. Because, they're like, oh, well, there's no price. I don't want to email in and find out the price, and they just move along. Any comments on that?
Okay, so here's the thing. If you were to go to someone's website and they told you that their program was $50,000, what would you do?
Probably just keep going anyway. Just like, that's not for me, move on.
Right.
Mhm.
So people cannot see the value in what your transformation is from a price tag on a website. Right? It doesn't work that way. So if you have like a membership, that's completely different. Okay. Membership. Polka Dot Powerhouse is a membership. They have their pricing for their membership on their website, as they should. It's yes, I want to do this. I want to be a part of this membership. I'm signing up. Here's the price. Here's my 2 choices. Pick one. Completely different than providing a one-on-one or a group program, service, course, et cetera, a course that someone's doing on their own. You need to have the price on your website if it's a course where they're DIY going through it on their own. Absolutely. If you're providing a one-on-one service or a group program or something like that, then I absolutely recommend that if your program is more than $500 or $1,000, people cannot see the value beyond that. They haven't talked with you. They don't know yet that you are the one that can help them. Okay. They're not going to know until you get onto a call with them. And how do you get them on a call? Right? Here's the thing. It's all about building relationships. It's not about a sales call. It's about, how can I help you? I want to help you. Let's talk and see what the struggle bus that you're on is, and what can we do to help you solve that. We're going to give them a little bit of ideas. We're going to talk about how to go through that process, but what does it actually look like to actually work with you? And I will tell you, most people are not going to get sales from their website. It's going to come through one-on-one connections, relationship building, networking. That's where the website is really a formality. Honestly, it's a formality. We put way too much weight behind a website. Okay. Can you sell without having a website? Abso-freaking-lutely. And if you're telling people, go to my website, you're doing them a disservice. Okay, I'm going to tell you guys something. When I was doing photography, there was a woman who was like a mentor to other photographers, and she had basically automated her entire experience up until they showed up to their photo shoot. And I was like, ooh, I could totally do that too. And just make it so simple that all someone has to do is go on my website and do this and then they can pick their time and pay their retainer and da da da. Guess what happened? I had 0 inquiries, 0 for an entire month, where I was normally getting 10 to 20 inquiries a month. I got 0. Do you know why? I took out the human component. I took out relationship building. People don't want to get half naked in front of a stranger. And I was like, that girl must be lying, because that is not how people want to do business. They don't want to do business with a computer. They want to do business with a person. So how can you add and bring back the personal element to your business? I get most of my clients through one-on-ones, connections, referrals, things like that, not through my website, right? That's not what's selling people. It's having the one-on-one conversation with me, right? And that's what it's going to be for you. They need to be able to have a one-on-one connection with you and feel like they have convinced themselves that you are the one that can help them. Okay. So we kind of talked a little bit about why you think you might suck at selling, right? Fear of the word no, being afraid to put yourself out there. How about judgment? Do you guys ever feel like people are going to judge you? Okay, I see some head nods. We talked about the fear of sounding salesy, like being a used car salesman. Do we talk about the fear of success? We talked about that a little bit. So besides the fear of failure, I actually believe that the fear of success is bigger. Success brings change. Success means, like Linda was saying earlier, if I make a lot of money, now I have to keep it up. What happens if I lose it all? What happens if I build up this massive business, and what happens if I can't keep it up? What happens if I can't repeat that? What if I got lucky? I got lucky this time and I'll never see that again. So what do? We keep ourselves in a constant state of stuck and hustle because the fear of success is there. And what if we make it to our goal? Holy crap. What if that actually happens? What's going to change? Are people going to look at me differently? Are people going to treat me differently? Oh my gosh, I'm in a new tax bracket. There's a lot that goes along with the fear of success. And it's really just a fear of change and the fear of what are you going to lose? We also talked about when you're not charging enough and you feel resentment or you feel undervalued, that is going to absolutely impact how you talk to people. Like I was mentioning my friend who was like, I don't want to do one-on-ones, and then kept trying to sell people one-on-ones. Your energy and your pricing and all that stuff has to be in alignment with your values. And if you don't know what your values are, go to Brene Brown's website, daretolead.com, and find the list of values and figure out what your values are. Pick a couple words, use them as your funnel, as your filter for any ideas that you have, for decisions that you're going to make, and filter them through the values. Are they in alignment with your values? If they're not, then you need to say no. And sometimes you are going to have potential clients come into your experience that are not in alignment with your values. And you cannot say yes because you are in scarcity mindset. You are interviewing them as much as they are interviewing you. I have had the experience where I took on a client that I should not have taken her on. I should have said, no, I'm not the right fit for you, but I know someone else who can help you. And I felt resentment. I felt undervalued. And I felt like I was kind of mad. And I was like, I should, and I had to own that. It's not her fault. It was my fault. I should not have taken her on as a client. But I wanted to help. And I was like, no, I'll help you. No one else is going to help you. Guess what? I'm not the only person out there that can help people. Okay. So it's okay to say no. It's okay to say, you know what? I don't actually think I'm the right fit for this, but I have a friend that I want to talk to and see if they're taking new clients right now. And I'd love to connect the two of you. Okay. So make friends with people that do what you do. Okay. You can still be the hero in this situation. Okay. Anyone here waiting for everything to be perfect? Putting all the final touches on all your programs and your offers and everything, and you can't sell it before it's 100% ready? I call bullshit. Perfect does not exist. Okay, you can sell something before it's ready. Okay, here's something. All you need is a landing page, just one. You need to know. So like, for example, I am getting ready to put together a 3-day retreat, a 3-day virtual retreat. All I'm doing right now is working on my syllabus. What am I going to teach? What are the results that I'm going to promise people for signing up for my retreat? That's all I need. All I need is, what am I actually going to teach? And then if people buy it and say, yes, I want that, here's the dates, then I can put it all together. But I'm not going to waste my time and my energy putting it all together first before I sell it. The same can be true with courses. The same can be true with programs. You can sell it before it's ready. Sell it before it's ready. It does not have to be perfect. You just need to have a general concept or idea that you're trying to sell. And beta. If you've never done it before, do a beta test. Okay, do a beta test, get some people enrolled into a beta, get their feedback, and then you can say, okay, now let's launch it for real. Take their feedback, make adjustments and tweaks, and then launch it for real. Okay, beta is your friend, you guys. It will help improve your confidence, and it will give you the feedback and the testimonials that you need in order to say, I can produce results. These people got results. You can too. When we've never done it before, we're like, nobody's going to believe that I can do this because I haven't done it before. I didn't know I could help people with their business until I helped people with their business. Right? Okay. The other thing I want you to know is, while you are moving through your own journey, you're going to need to notice your own resistance. When I mentioned having a $50,000, a $20,000, a $40,000 program, what resistance came up for you? Right? Oh, I can't afford that. Was probably your immediate reaction. Right? Kelly?
I don't know people who could afford that.
Okay. So here's the thing, Trina, let me ask you this. If I told you that I could make you $200,000 in a year, would you invest $40,000 to make $200,000?
In theory, yes.
But in resistance, what does your resistance say?
I'd have to work really hard to make that 200,000. So that's a huge commitment, would be my resistance.
That would be your resistance. So what do you think your clients are feeling when you're presenting them with an offer that's, say, $10,000?
Well, they're scared about the commitment, I guess, and the unknown of what life will be like after, what they're going to have to do to get there. Like there's a whole bunch of things going on for them,
Right.
right?
Right. So your resistance to my offer will translate into their resistance. So how do we break through our own resistance? Remember what I said earlier? You're going to have to invest in yourself in order for people to invest in you. It's so scary, you guys. I'm not even joking. I now have 2 coaches. Okay. And the first one, I was under $1,000 a month and I still wanted to puke because I didn't believe in myself. I didn't believe that I could actually turn my baby tiny little coaching business when I was just starting out charging $300 a month. How on earth could I ever grow it and scale it and be able to afford that? Because I was in scarcity mindset. If you are in scarcity mindset, you will not be able to sell anything to anyone. So you are both the problem and the solution in your sales calls. Just you. So you have to change your mindset when you go into a sales call or you're talking to someone and just helping them. You have to change your mindset and say, I'm not here to sell, I'm just here to serve. I'm not here to sell, I'm just here to serve. And what's going to happen naturally is going to happen naturally. But if you go in with I have to close this person or else I'm not going to be able to pay my mortgage, that is scarcity mindset. And guess what's going to happen? Repel. You're going to repel them from you because they're going to smell it on you like stink on a dead fish. They're going to smell the desperation coming off of you. So come to the table in service with empathy and kindness as your primary goal. It's not about getting the sale. The sale will happen when they feel like they've been heard, right? People want to be heard before they are helped. Okay. And there are 3 enemies to business that we all struggle with, and we have to address them. The first one is safety. That is an enemy. Safety is an enemy to your business. In order to shift out of safety, we have to do radical behavior. We have to do things that scare the crap out of us. We have to do things that we don't have a guaranteed result. Can you guarantee results in what it is that you're offering? Because guess what if they don't do the work? If they don't do the work, they're not going to get results. The same is true for you. If you don't do the work, you're not going to get results either. But I'll guarantee you, if it was $100 or $10,000, which one are you going to commit to showing up to? I'm not showing up for $7. Remember that? I am going to show up for $10,000 though. Damn straight, I'm going to get my money's worth. I paid a lot of money. I'm showing up. Commitment is over here. Whatever, not important, not a priority. I'm not putting on my calendar. It's just $100, right? $10,000, $100. Which one feels like it has more value? $10,000 feels, wow, there must be some really great stuff going on in there, right? The second thing is certainty. There is no such thing as certainty in business. It is not your friend. It does not exist. We have to be able to take a leap of faith and trust in ourselves and belief in ourselves before we can move forward. Okay. The third thing is security. Security is your enemy in business. That is your comfort zone. Guess what? Nothing good happens inside of your comfort zone. Grass does not grow there because that's where you're hanging out. You're stepping all over the ground. Grass cannot grow there. The good things happen outside of your comfort zone. That's where the growth happens. So if you're on a path of growth and expansion and trying to level up and all that stuff, guess what's going to happen? Amazing things are going to happen outside of your comfort zone. So you have to ask yourself, what kind of entrepreneur do you want to be? How are you going to model that for your clients? Yes, Rosemary, the strongest trees grow in the highest winds. Great. That's a great quote. So safety, certainty, security are your enemies. They also are the enemies of your clients. So you need to know that that's where they're going to try to stay, is in certainty, security, and safety. You have to help them get out of it for them to convince themselves that they need you. You got to demonstrate it. You got to believe it. You got to live it. Then you can help someone else do it. I'm only sharing this because I did it. I'm like, okay, I did it. Whew, now I can help other people. That's how I teach. I learn it first, then I teach it. So let's clear up a couple of things. Number one, has your client set aside funds to solve this problem? That is a really interesting question. How do you find that out? I'm gonna give you some questions that you can ask during a conversation to find out, okay? Are they the sole decision maker? How many of you hear that I have to talk to my husband first? I have to talk to my husband first. I'm going to tell you guys something. When I hired my second coach, I did not tell my husband how much it was going to cost because he would have shit his pants. I said, does he really need to know this? I'm paying out of my business. This does not impact our family income. He would have crapped his pants if I told him how much my second coach cost, because I know he was already crapping his pants with the first one. I'm telling you guys, man. But there is a mentality in there that we have to get permission from outside people in order to do the things that we believe in. When someone is like, I believe in this transformation, I know that I want this, trying to convince a partner that they need this. Do you know, I have actually said, okay, let's talk, let's bring both of you on to the call, and I will talk about how much I literally did this. I was doing like a 5-day call, 5-day training. And she was like, I really want to do this, but I have to talk to my husband. I'm like, bring him on. Like, let's set up a call together. She was like, okay. So he came on to the call, and I basically talked about how amazing she was. I talked about how she showed up and did the work. She showed up every day. She was submitting her homework. She was invested. She was like, oh my God, I want this so bad. So then he was like, okay, so how much is it going to cost? And I told him, and he goes, okay, you really want this? She's like, yeah, I do. He goes, okay, great. Let's do it. But I was there to like make him feel that this was not just another, there's this barrier sometimes that we have to get through, which people think that we're trying to scam them. Right? So he didn't know me. People do business with people they know, like, and trust. So I had to build up a rapport with him. I had already built it up with her. Now she was vouching for me. right? She was vouching for me. The fact that she even said, husband, I would like for you to get on to this call with me because I really want to do this thing. I want you to meet this person that I believe can help me with my business. Right? I had to build a rapport with him. Okay, the other thing, talk less. Okay, talk less. So I'm gonna go through some questions that I want you to ask, but I really want you to focus on letting them talk. You will start to hear and pick up on the things that you want to reiterate to them. So I recommend having a notepad or something with you, and I want you to write down these questions because I want you to have them with you while you are talking to someone and really trying to guide the conversation so that you can figure out how you can best help them. Okay, so I'm going to give you this acronym. It's called I help. The first one is inquire, which is to ask better questions. That's the I. H is hear. So know what to listen for. When you can pick up on those subtle hints, they're going to tell you what their problems are while they're talking. You need to be able to listen and take note of that. E is going to be elevate urgency. So there's a price objection versus urgency objection. L is going to be list the reasons for buying back to them in their words. And then P is going to be prescribe your service, prescribe your product, your offer, whatever it is that can help them solve the problem. Are you going to prescribe it if it's not actually going to help them? No. Your job is to not sell someone something they don't need. Okay. So when you get on a call with someone, you must set an agenda. You must be able to say what it is what the purpose of the call is today. So I might say something like this. So I'm going to get to know someone. I want to build a rapport, want to get to know who they are. And I'm going to say something like, it is so great to talk with you today. And I'd like to start by having you tell me more about your business and how you think I might be able to help you today. And then I'd like to ask you some follow-up questions about your needs and goals. And then we can see if we are a good fit. Does that sound good? What would you say if I said that to you? Would you feel like, okay, great, you know exactly what's about to happen? Okay. Before you move on to asking more questions, I want you to listen and say, have you identified their pain? There's a secret pain and a surface pain. And the difference is the secret pain is what they don't want to tell anyone. It's what's really happening. The surface pain is, my stomach hurts. What's the secret pain is what's really going on, what's causing your stomach to hurt, right? Then I want you to say, do I actually have a solution? Do I actually have a way to help them? And only offer that solution if it's in complete alignment with their goals, their needs, their desires. And I want you to ask yourself, why are you their solution? Another thing I want you to remember is that people buy the payoff and not the process. They don't care about the bullet points. Well, you get this and you get this and you get this and you get this. They don't care. They only care about, how are you going to help me solve my problem? When their pain meets your solution, then you will have a sale. That's when they start saying, how can you help me? So now we're going to get into what I call the magic questions. So after they have gone through and told you all about all the stuff, and you have some follow-up questions. Okay, you guys ready? So you're going to say, thanks for telling me about your knees. Is it okay if I ask you some additional questions? So get their permission before you dive in and start asking more questions. The first thing I might ask is, what's going great in your business? Since I'm gonna talk about business because that's my expertise. So what's going great in your business? I'm gonna say, what do you love? What's not working? I want to know what's working and what's not working. I'm going to ask them, what would happen if your problem was fixed? If we solved this problem, what would happen? If you got all the clarity that you needed in order to make an offer and like sell it to people, what would happen in your business? Then I'm going to ask them, what do you think you need to do in order to fix this problem? Remember, they're trying to convince themselves. So what do they think they need in order to solve this problem? I might also ask them, what have they tried to fix this before? Have they tried to do something else and it didn't work? Have they hired another coach before? Maybe they had a bad experience and they're a little uneasy with trusting someone else. You'd be surprised how many people say, yeah, I invested $30,000 in this program over here and I didn't get anything out of it. I showed up, I did the work, that just wasn't right. I actually had a friend of mine say, I invested $30,000 and I got nothing out of it. How do you think her trust level is with people in the future? Not that great. But I need to know if they've done it before, if they've tried to solve the problem before, and why do they think that it didn't work? Because if they're saying, well, it didn't work, why? Why didn't it work? The next question I might ask is, how do you think I could help you? Why me? Like, why am I your solution? Why are we talking about it? Then I could say, based on that question, if they're saying, if I'm like, how do you think I can help you? And they're like, well, I think you could help me do X, Y, and Z. And I'm like, that is not what I do. That's not what I do. But I can refer you to this person over here who does exactly that. Okay. Then I'm going to say, can I offer you some free coaching, advice, whatever it is you want to call it? And then I might tell a story about how I'm always going to try to relate what they told me to a story, because I'm a storyteller. It just happens in my nature. But I might try and relate their story to someone else that I know that had a similar problem, because one, I don't want them to feel like they're alone. And two, I want them to know that either myself or someone else had that same problem, and here's how I helped them fix it. So maybe I could help her do the same. Okay. Then I might say, are you familiar with how my programs work? Okay. I might say things like, does that sound like that might work for you? But I'm really looking for her, in all honesty, I'm looking for her to say, how can you help me? How can we work together? What would it look like for us to work together? That's really what I'm waiting for her to say. And if she doesn't ask, I might not bring it up. Okay. If she does say, okay, great, I'm in, then I'm going to say, when would you like to get started? you want to get started right away? Do you want to wait till next month? What's going on in your life? Well, it's Christmas month, so I really don't want to take on anything right now. Great. Would you like to start in January? Yes, that would make, right? Okay, great. Let's talk about that. And then I'm going to share the onboarding process. So here's what happens next. I want her to know that she's just not going to pay me and I'm going to leave her high and dry. I'm going to say, I'm going to send you this. You're going to get a contract. You're going to get this. You're going to get that. I'm going to have a slide deck and orientation, yada, yada, yada. It's going to walk you through all the things that you need to know, all the links that you need to have, all the dates, all the things, right? So I'm going to leave you guys with 3 traits that I need you guys to embody as entrepreneurs in order to have a successful business. 3 traits. And I learned these traits from my son, who is off in college playing football, living his dream. He was a sophomore playing football and wanted to be the starting quarterback. He was scrawny, tall, skinny, going through puberty, was not in the physical condition in order to be a starting quarterback. And my husband asked him, what are you willing to do for it? And my son said, whatever it takes. We got him a personal trainer, and my son committed to going 6 days a week to going and working out and building up his strength and his stamina and all the things. He was committed. So what I learned is that you need discipline. Number 1, you need to show up even when you don't want to. Show up to the meetings. Show up to the networking. Show up to the coffee connects. Show up when you don't want to. The hardest part is getting there. Once you're there, you're like, I'm so glad I came. This was so much fun. You have to talk yourself into showing up, even when you don't want to. Number 2, consistency, which is practice. Do you think Simone Biles, the amazing Olympic athlete, woke up knowing how to do all those flips and turns and all that stuff? No. She practiced and practiced over and over and over and over and over again. She landed on her butt. She fell how many times? And she got back up and she did it again. Practice. The Dyson vacuum cleaner made over 5,000 prototypes before he got it to work the way that he wanted it to. Consistency. Not giving up. Even when it doesn't work the first time, you keep going. It's not always going to work the first time. The first time you make a Facebook post about what your offer is, you may not get anyone that wants to buy it, because that's not how we sell. We sell through relationship building, through networking. Okay. The third thing is accountability, which is because I said I would. Do what you say what you mean. And when you make a promise, you honor that. You hold yourself accountable. And accountability is not a bad thing. Like, we have this idea in our head that accountability is like punishment or shaming or something like that. If you don't do the work and you don't get the result, accountability is, well, crap, that didn't work. What am I going to do different next time? It's owning up. You are solely responsible for the success in your business. You are both the problem and the solution in your business. Accountability is not a bad thing. It's not a bad word. Okay, so in the email that I sent you guys, if you would like to come and be a guest on my podcast, it's called Bitch and Brainstorm. And it's basically, I'm offering free strategy calls, but I'm recording them. I'm doing them live. So if you're feeling stuck in your business and you want to talk it out, come and be a guest on my podcast. I'd love to have you. But I told you in my email, I'm not here to sell you anything. I'm here to genuinely help you. Okay. And I truly mean that. I am here to help you. So if there's something that I can do to help you get unstuck in your business, please let me know. Please reach out to me. I am here to help you. If you have questions, you are more than welcome to unmute and talk it out. If you want to send me a message or an email or Facebook message or whatever, do so. I'm here to help you. Okay. Thanks for sticking around. I know we went a little bit over, but sometimes when I get a little in the groove, the stuff just comes right out of my mouth. I can't even help it. I just didn't like an explosion. So thank you guys so much for coming to hang out. And I hope that you got some value out of this, and that the biggest thing I want you to do is I want you to figure out of today, what are you going to implement? It's one thing to learn all the things. Okay. I've just taught you a whole bunch of stuff and a whole bunch of mindset stuff and whatever. What action are you going to take? What are you going to implement in order to do something different? In order to get a different result, we have to be willing to do something different. Remember, it's all you. It's all you. Linda, what would you like to say?
Thank you very much. You've put me back on the right track. I get into procrastination mode.
Yeah.
It's just worth it. I think just put it out there, put something out there to sell and finish building it. You know, I've got all the parts and pieces and stuff started and stuff. I just need to sell one.
Okay. And what are you selling?
What am I selling? What I do is I work with people who struggle with making plans for elder care for themselves or a loved one.
Okay.
And I want them to make actually 3 plans, because there's a plan to stay home as long as you can. There's a plan to go maybe in assisted living, have a roommate, you know, or there's all kind of plans. And then of course, the last one is the fact that you finally realize that you have to leave your home and go somewhere else,
Mm-hmm.
you know, live in a facility. So, you know, it's all that. I see people that struggle, whether it be the families, the children, the siblings trying to, you know, work it out, or the patient themselves, to where they have to make a decision in less than 24 hours to go into a facility. And they don't have all the answers. They don't understand Medicare or skill care or all that. And all that information is given to them when it's all emotions are going. And this is to let them know what is out there and how they can pay for it.
Right.
Yeah.
And one of the biggest problems that you're going to run into is that people are like, but I don't need that right now. It's not a fun it's not a fun subject to talk about.
They don't want to be prepared is the
Mhm.
And so then when their family has to fly 1,800 miles because mama fell and broke her hip, and now they're saying, you know, I've got a job, I've got to go back, I've got my career to do, and here we've got to do something with mama, and she can't go home by herself, and they
Mhm.
got 100 days for skill care, and now they're telling me that after 2 weeks she doesn't have any more. Well, what it is they don't tell you that you have to meet this criteria. You don't hear that. You have to has to keep going for therapy
Mhm.
to show improvement. She
Mhm.
be able to do it. And once she's met those goals, then it's done.
Mhm.
Nobody usually gets the whole 100 days. That's a very
Mhm.
rare occurrence. They usually start out with 2 weeks. You don't want to use all your days on the same thing, because you might need some more again in
Mhm.
days.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
and they don't understand that. So yes, it is a real hard process. All they can think about is that it costs the minimum of $4,000 to $5,000 a month in a long-term care facility. And that's crazy, you know, that
Mhm.
charge that kind of much. They don't think about the light bill being $5,000 in the
Right.
facility.
Right. Yeah. So you got a lot of hurdles to jump over, but you just got to start educating and showing
Yes.
that you can give value.
Right.
Right. Okay.
Oh, yeah, I have people that are very interested. I have people, but no, they do not want to pay for it.
Mhm.
Be told about it. They want to gripe about it.
Right. Well, you can bitch about it or you can do something about it. Like,
Or you
those
can
are-
plan and
those are
realize,
the two options.
yeah, if you can take steps to stay in your home, you can decide whether to be an employer and hire somebody to come in with mama, which is hard to do, but what are you going to do on the days they call in sick? Or you can go with an agency that guarantees somebody will be there.
Gotcha. Gotcha. Well, I hope this was helpful for you. So I'd love to get out there, go take some action, and let me know how it goes.
And when are we meeting again?
Well, I do this once a month. I always do a free workshop once a month, and I'm always
I
having
see.
classes and stuff like that. So if you want to be kept up to date with all the stuff that I'm doing, I can add you to my list if that's something that you'd like.
Yes, I would like.
Okay.
I need a accountability partner to an extent. That
Okay.
motivated.
Yeah, I get you. Well, that's what I do. I'm a motivator.
You're a motivator, yes.
Yeah. Well, have a super great day, everybody. And
You too,
see
thank
you guys
you.
later.
Bye.
Bye.